New at South by Southwest this year, old ideas. Anti-monopoly laws seen in the 90s and at the turn of the 20th century returned.
This time politicians pitched applying them to big tech companies like Facebook, Google, and Apple. But just how realistic is that idea? KXAN's political reporter Phil Prazen takes a closer look.
The question is, have 4 companies become so big and so powerful that the government should step in with more rules and regulations? That question is being asked louder and in more places. The most aggressive plan came from Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren, who wants to break up the big tech companies, banning a company from having both a platform and a product on that platform.
The monopolist will make fewer monopoly profits. Boo-hoo.
Amazon would have to sell Whole Foods, Facebook would sell Instagram, Google would sell Waze.
You can be an umpire, a platform, or you can own teams. That's fine, but you can't be an umpire and own one of the teams that's in the game.
Critics of her idea say the internet doesn't stop at a country's borders. Senior lecturer at UT's McCombs School of Business, John Doggett, says if U.S. leaders hold back American tech companies, Chinese companies, Tencent, Alibaba, Huawei, will fill the gap.
When your competitor is getting larger and better and faster and tougher, it's really stupid to say, well, in that case, let me just cut my arms off, let's cut my pieces of my anatomy off so I can't compete.
Doggett says more realistic reforms we'll see revolve around personal information, whether companies can sell our data without our permission, or if we should at least get a cut of the profits. Phil Prazen, KXAN News.
More 2020 candidates at South by Southwest say they support new rules for privacy and making sure companies don't manipulate their platforms to force out smaller competitors.
I just want a fair and level playing field. I don't think these companies need to be broken up, but I think you should always be open to competition.
To look at the consumer pieces of this in terms of how much they are making off of us.
We reached out to Facebook, Apple, Google, and Amazon for their perspective and comments. They either didn't respond to our request or chose not to comment.
This would not be the first time the government has accused a major tech company of forming a monopoly. In the 1990s, Microsoft was accused of violating antitrust laws when that company bundled its Internet Explorer browser within its operating system. The government said Microsoft used its platform to dominate the market over AOL's Netscape Navigator. Microsoft's share of the browser industry has gradually eroded since then. The company now controls less than half of the market.